Once upon a time, in the beautiful Italian city of Verona, there were two powerful families, the Montagues and the Capulets. These families hated each other so much that their fights spilled onto the streets. The city was full of their feuds, and peace seemed impossible. Amid all this tension, a young Montague named Romeo fell in love with someone special, Juliet, a Capulet. Romeo was a dreamer, always lost in his thoughts about love. One evening, he sneaked into a party at the Capulet mansion with his friends. At the party, under glowing lights and cheerful music, Romeo saw Juliet for the first time. She was beautiful, graceful, and kind. He couldn't take his eyes off her. Juliet saw Romeo too, and their hearts instantly connected. It was as if the world stopped, and nothing else mattered. They talked, laughed, and shared a magical moment. But there was one problem. They soon realized their families were sworn enemies. Despite the danger, Romeo and Juliet couldn't forget each other. That very night, Romeo climbed the walls of the Capulet mansion and found Juliet on her balcony. In the moonlight, they confessed their love. Juliet said, "If you love me, let's find a way to be together forever." Romeo vowed to make her his wife, and they decided to marry in secret. The next day, with the help of a kind priest named Friar Lawrence, they became husband and wife. Their happiness didn't last long. Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, was angry that Romeo had crashed the Capulet party. He challenged Romeo to a duel. Romeo refused to fight because Tybalt was now his family through Juliet. But Romeo's friend Mercutio couldn't stand the insult and fought Tybalt instead. The fight ended tragically. Mercutio was killed. Overcome with rage, Romeo fought Tybalt and killed him in return. This act of violence meant Romeo had to leave Verona forever. Juliet was heartbroken when she heard about Romeo's banishment. To make matters worse, her parents wanted her to marry a nobleman named Paris. She couldn't bear the thought of being with anyone but Romeo. Desperate, Juliet went to Friar Lawrence for help. He gave her a potion that would make her appear dead for a day. The plan was for Romeo to rescue her once she woke up, and they could escape together. Juliet drank the potion and fell into a deep sleep. Everyone thought she had died. Her family placed her in the Capulet tomb. Meanwhile, Romeo didn't receive the friar's message explaining the plan. When he heard Juliet was dead, he rushed to the tomb in despair. There he found Juliet lying still, looking lifeless. Grief overtook him, and he drank poison to end his pain. Moments later, Juliet woke up and saw Romeo dead beside her. Unable to imagine a life without him, she took his dagger and ended her own life. Their tragic deaths shocked the Montagues and Capulets. Filled with guilt and sorrow, the two families agreed to end their hatred. At last, peace came to Verona, but at a heartbreaking cost.